adventure, sports, outdoors. With host Harry Canterbury.
There I was, back in the wild again, and I felt right at home where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again, just like it happened so many times before. Yeah.
Hi, Harry Canterbury with another edition of Adventure Sports Outdoors. Join us today as we visit with Richard Pearson, Chief Executive Officer of the Illinois State Rifle Association. And Richard's been with the ISRA for a long time. Quite a guy, very passionate, quite a gun nut to say the least. He knows just about everything there is to know about guns and the law, and is also a lobbyist for the Illinois State Rifle Association in Springfield. It's going to be an interesting program, and we're going to give you a little history of the Illinois State Rifle Association, which is over 100 years old, and it's not exactly what you thought it was. So stay tuned today for a good show.
Adventure Sports Outdoors, brought to you in part by Corsaw Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Central Pool Supply, everything from pools to pool tables and much more in Peoria on West Pioneer Parkway. Michael O'Brien Commercial Real Estate and Recreational Ground, Remax Unlimited Commercial. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily. Christopher Coin Gun and Pawn LLC, 333 Derby Street in Pekin. Our thanks to all of these sponsors.
My name is Richard Pearson. I'm Executive Director of the Illinois State Rifle Association. We're a 26,000 member organization that goes all across the state of Illinois. In fact, we have members in every state and a couple foreign countries. The Illinois State Rifle Association was formed in 1903, and the impetus for that was from Theodore Roosevelt. During the Spanish-American War, he found that recruits couldn't shoot straight, so he wanted somebody to teach them to shoot. And so he knew the Army and the Navy and the Marine Corps had terrible records on keeping marksmanship programs going, so he assigned it to the civilian group. And in every state, associations were formed. In Illinois, it was in the town of Danville, Illinois, and it was the Illinois State Rifle Association. It was formed around the Danville Veterans Home because there were a lot of veterans there, veteran marksmen, and a large National Guard base there. And so that's where we started out in mid-June of 1903. Our duties were to train civilians before they went to the United States military in the manual of arms on how to shoot rifles and pistols. In 1903, the Army made a special department, the Department of Civilian Marksmanship, and we were under a general in the Department of Civilian Marksmanship, or later a colonel. We have trained marksmen in the Philippine Inquisition, World War I, World War II, all the Banana Republic Wars, actually. We have trained marksmen in Vietnam. We have trained marksmen in the Operation Desert Storm and Desert Freedom. And up until this day, we train military marksmen and those going into military service for marksmanship skills. The problem with marksmanship is that you can't learn it in a couple days, which is what the Army teaches you. You get 2 days training. It covers 4 different arms, and you need to know before you go in how to shoot straight if you want to survive and you want to win battles. So we do that when in 2003 we were called up and we trained lots of engineering battalions, lots of communications groups, lots of transportation groups who hadn't been well trained in arms, and so they were sent to our range and ranges around the state, and Illinois State Rifle Association members trained them in marksmanship skills and got them to a point where they could at least qualify before they went over. And in one case, they were trained with us 1 week, we got them qualified, and the next week they were in the air going to Iraq. So it's an important service. We have gone further, however, in that we train civilians in all kinds of marksmanship skills. We've added, of course, shotgun. We had rifle, pistol still. But we have camps that begin with youth camps. We have senior programs. We have programs of all kinds that train people from introductory levels to high-end marksmanship skills. And so we do that, and it's part of the thing that we do. Our role has changed over the years because of the anti-gun movements in the United States. We now lobby for gun rights in Springfield. It's not because we want to, it's because we were forced to. And so we have now 6 lobbyists in Springfield, and we watch legislation there constantly. We have a bill coming up this week, which is House Bill 1016, Amendment 1, which would actually just run gun dealers out of business. The anti-gun movements try to limit your ability to buy firearms, make them expensive as possible, and make the ownership of them as complicated as possible. For example, in this bill, you would have to have 5 years experience to work in a gun shop, but the question is, how do you get 5 years experience if you can't work in a gun shop? So you have all kinds of catch-22s like that make it impossible for people to do a lawful business in the state of Illinois. In 1968, Illinois passed the FOID Card Act, which is the Firearm Owner's Identification Card, shorthanded to FOID. In Illinois, we now have over 2 million FOID card holders out of 9.5 million eligible people. So we're well over 20% of the population in Illinois are now firearm owners. Firearm owners are always blamed for crime, and particularly crime in Chicago and some in Rockford and some in East St. Louis. But few, if any, crimes are committed by FOID card holders. In testimony before a House committee several years ago, a detective testified that none of the people they investigated for murder had ever had a FOID card. So the FOID card is for law-abiding citizens. It enables you to purchase a gun, transport a gun, unload it in your vehicle, and to the range, do hunting, or just to keep it for personal protection. In 2010, we went to court with the Chicago versus Otis McDonald case, and Otis McDonald was one of our members, and he and 3 other people sued the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois because we could not carry concealed. The people like to say that they gave us the Concealed Carry Act in Illinois, but the fact is that a federal judges, the Supreme Court, ruled that they had to give us concealed carry in Illinois. So it was a court order. The court order carried no strings with it, just that they had to give it so it could come in any kind of way that they wanted to. And so we determined there were 2 things that we needed in Illinois. One was shall issue, which means you couldn't be subject to political pressure to either get or not get a concealed carry license. And the other was that the city of Chicago and the entire state would be included in it. We got both of those things, and so that has helped us. Right now there's over 160,000 concealed carry licenses in Illinois, and we're probably headed for 300,000, which is where we need to go. One of the things that has happened in Illinois because of that is that the crime rates have dropped. You say, well, how can you say crime rates have dropped when murder rates are going up in the city of Chicago and a few other isolated places in Illinois? All of those crime rates, all of those murders are fueled by drugs and gangs. Very few murders in Illinois are committed by FOID card holders, if any. So the drugs and gangs fuel the murder rate in Chicago, and until something is done about that, then the murder rate is going to continue without a question. Right now, of course, the police are under a lot of pressure to respond politely or not respond. And so I think that's one of the reasons the number of concealed carry holders are going up.
Hello, I'm Dr. Art Herm at the Morton Animal Hospital. I've been in practice for over 40 years here at the Morton Animal Hospital in Morton, Illinois. Today we're going to talk about rabies. Now, rabies is almost passé in that it hasn't had any human cases in a long time. However, it's still around in the wildlife, especially the little brown rat in this part of the country. That's why we continue to vaccinate dogs for rabies. As a rabies control administrator in Tazewell County, it is imperative that I emphasize that everyone have their dogs vaccinated for rabies. And because of that, we have been able to limit the cases of human exposure for over the years. And it is up to you as a dog owner, mandated by the state, to have your dog vaccinated for rabies. From Ladybug and all our friends here at the Morton Animal Hospital, we wish you happy trails, and we'll see you next time.
I'm Dave Barth with your Sportsman's Tip of the Week. We've talked in the past about concealed carry handguns and self-defense handguns, but we have not talked about shotguns. A shotgun for home or for backpacking is hard to beat. You just can't hardly miss. If you're in bear country, a shotgun loaded with buckshot or slugs or something like that would be just a really good self-defense gun to have. We have a few examples of shotguns that would make a good choice for home defense. The first one here is a Mossberg. It has a collapsible stock. It's a 5-shot, 2 3/4 or 3-inch. It has a shell holder on the buttstock, and it's a pump shotgun. Pistol grip, pump shotgun. The next one in line is a Stevens. It has ghost ring sights, pistol grip, and it's also a pump, shoots 2 3/4 or 3-inch. It's a 5-shot magazine. If you want a semi-automatic, there's many choices. This is a Benelli. It's a 12-gauge 3-inch with a Picatinny rail and ghost ring sights. And here at the other end, we have a pistol grip shotgun. It's a pump. It's got false muzzle brake here, and it's also a 5-shot, 2 3/4 or 3-inch. The last gun in the line here is a Remington 870 Tactical. It has an 8-shot magazine, a Picatinny rail so you can mount optics on it, open sights, a ghost ring sight, and any of these would be a good choice. One accessory you would really want to put on any of these would be a sling. As far as ammunition, some good choices would be a buckshot, either in 2 3/4 or 3-inch, like a double-aught, number 4 buck, or even slugs. A barrel load would be like a 2 3/4 or 3-inch slug. I'm Dave Barth with your Sportsman's Tip of the Week.
Illinois Deer and Turkey Expo, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 12th, 13th, and 14th at Interstate Center and McLean County Fairgrounds, 1106 Interstate Drive. That's Route 9 in Bloomington.
And now we're going to go over to the Tremont Sportsman's Club, a club that I have been a member of for a long time. And we're taking Richard Pearson and Carol Kornmeyer, and this is one of the first times that she's ever shot a gun. And Richard is a great instructor, and Rich is going to show her the do's and don'ts of a pistol.
Carol, I know you purchased a firearm for self-defense. What kind did you buy?
I purchased a LCR 22 Magnum Ruger.
That's a very good gun. It doesn't recoil a lot, but it has a lot of hitting power. So we're going to go out, we're going to have a short lesson on how to shoot that. We'll tell you that this is an introductory lesson, and to keep shooting, and that's the way you get better at it.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here, and most new shooters have a tendency to cross their thumb. But if you shoot a semi-automatic pistol, the slide will come back and tear your thumbnail off.
Ooh.
And I want to tell you, having had that happen the first time I shot, that really hurts. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep our thumbs on the same side of the gun. Okay.
Right here.
Right there. So it's not in the way of the trigger finger. We want to have a firm grip with both hands. You actually want to grip more with your left hand, your non-shooting hand, because the tighter you grip, the more difficult the trigger pull comes because you lock up your nerves. Okay, let's do it again. All right, so we've got it going side to side. All right, let's get a good grip on that. Make sure that the gun does not go side to side. Okay, let's try it again. Here, I'll hold it for you so it's a little more steady. Better. All right, when you load a revolver, this is one of the, it's called the FBI method. So you lock the cylinder in with your thumb and you hold it through here, and it makes it good and firm. All right. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to do a method in which it's a ball and dummy round, except we don't have any dummy rounds, so we're just going to use empty chambers here. And you are not going to know where this round is. So it could be the first shot, could be the last shot. Okay, so I want you to concentrate on fundamentals. If the fundamentals are right, the shot will be right. If you don't establish your fundamentals first, you will never be a good shooter.
Okay.
But if you always shoot for fundamentals, you will be a good shooter.
Okay.
Okay, so the gun is now loaded. All right, concentrate on our grip, always grip it firmly. We have the sight picture. Mm-hmm. Now, eye and ear protection in place. Mm-hmm. All right, I want you to pull the trigger quite slowly and see what happens. All right, nice and smooth now. Concentrate on smoothness. All right, that was much better. Smooth will equal speed, okay, in the end. All right, smooth again. Okay, smooth again. Okay, smooth again. Smooth again. Okay, now.
Did that go up?
It went off and you got a nice big fat X. All right?
Where did it go?
See, it's in the X ring.
Oh, okay.
At 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, when I feel that you have a firm grip, I will release mine. But I won't do that until you actually have a firm grip. Okay, so whenever you pick up a gun, the first thing you must do is make sure you have a firm grip. Whether you pick it up with your shooting hand or your non-shooting hand, you have to have it strongly held, okay? Okay, so I'm going to hand this to you. The gun is empty. We will check. The gun is empty. So I'm going to hand this gun to you. All right, grip it firmly. All right, get your proper grip. All right, bring this back here so this finger is underneath the trigger guard right here. Remember, your index finger of your non-shooting hand, in your case the left hand, is right underneath the trigger guard. Okay, extend your arms. You notice how your foot is automatically going to the right place already? So we're automatically doing that. All right, so let's dry fire now and try not to let the gun move. Okay, a little smoother, a little slower. Better. Let's try a round. Let's try 2 rounds this time, but you won't know where they are again.
Okay.
All right. So I will turn my back and I will load them. The old term for this was Swiss loading. And so the instructor then gives the gun to the student. Firm grip, remember? Okay, take command. Establish your proper grip first. Okay? Now, proper grip will come second nature to you, but you have to practice it. Okay, let's dry fire at the bottom of that X-ring right there. Okay, and see how the trigger pulls now. Nice and smooth. Okay, again. Nice and smooth. Again. Okay. Release the trigger fully, but don't take your finger out of the trigger guard. Okay? Again. There we go. All right, let's try another shot. Keep firing. The sky is still after us. Keep firing nice and smooth. Okay, Carol, now we've tried your carry gun, so I know you have a Smith & Wesson 586 357 for a self-defense gun. So we're going to go and try that and give you a little lesson in shooting that one. It's a much bigger gun, so that means that the trigger will pull easier because you have greater mechanical advantage in your trigger. So it becomes very important that you know the difference. The smaller the gun, the less mechanical advantage they have. If you're shooting a semi-automatic, the smaller the gun, the more you have to provide resistance to the gun, because a big semi-automatic does that for you. A small semi-automatic you have to practice more with because you have to provide all the mass that the gun doesn't have. So let's go try your 357.
Okay.
Okay, Carol, this is your home defense gun. This is a Smith & Wesson 686 in 357 Magnum. Now we're going to shoot 38s in it today because it's cheaper and it's more fun to shoot 38s. But all the fundamentals of that smaller gun can apply to this gun, or actually any gun. Okay, so I'm going to close the cylinder. As you can see, the gun is empty. I'm going to close the cylinder. I'm going to hand it to you. So the first thing you do is grab it firmly, establish your grip. All right, now extend your arms, get your sights aligned, put your finger on the trigger. All right, now I'm going to not put my earmuffs on because we're dry firing. All right, so dry fire the gun nice and smoothly. Okay. Okay, much better. But now we're going to do it with 3 rounds. Okay, but you won't know where they are. 3 rounds. Okay, the gun is now loaded. All right, so I'm going to hand it to you. Grab it with a firm grip. Establish your grip. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but that time you established your grip perfectly the first time. So it's a matter of repetition. Okay, now remember, when the gun goes off, keep aiming at that X-ring, keep pointing the trigger no matter what happens. Okay? Good. Good. Keep firing. Good. Keep. Good. Keep firing. Good. Keep firing. Okay. Now, one of the things that happened, which is typical of new shooters, you immediately relax your hand as soon as the gun fired. Yeah. So you've got to keep it tight all the way through the string. Yeah. However, if we look at our string, we had more good shots there, you know, and the bad guy is still not happy. In fact, he's getting more unhappy by the minute. All right, let's go back and get some more ammunition. And this time we're going to do a 6-round string. All right? Okay, Carol, this time we have the gun loaded with 6 rounds. So this would be more of a true self-defense situation, because you never know what you're dealing with. If somebody is up on drugs or some other medication, it takes more rounds to get them down. So this time we're going to do a 6-round string. In other words, we're going to fire till the gun doesn't shoot anymore. Okay? All right. Okay. Look at that grip. It's coming right in there. All right. We're looking at that X-ring right there. All right. Now I'll get this grip back here. There you are. Now nice and smooth on these shots. Speed doesn't matter if you miss. All right, so whenever you're ready, remember, it's going to shoot every time, so you have to keep your grip firm every time. You have to come back on target every time and re-pull the trigger. Go. Okay, very good. I have the gun. I will now empty it. 1, 2, 3. FBI method. See, it's clear. All right. I carry the gun like this. I'm pretty sure it won't go off with my fingers in it. Let's go look at our target. All right. So, all these shots are disabling shots. Every shot you fired was a disabling shot. Okay. Most of the confrontations that you're going to run into are going to be between 3 and maybe 7 yards at the most, probably 5. So as you go back, your shots will become more accurate. You have to practice more. But for a self-defense situation, I know of no bad guy that's going to like this. None. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Deb Park, and I have been shooting now for about 3 years pistols. I've been shooting rifles and such for about 20 years, but a few years ago became interested in the pistol and wanted to do the concealed carry course. So that's sort of how I started out. I started out with shooting some pistols. I took the concealed carry course. I kind of got really interested in it. I took further training. I've trained into basic pistol. I've trained into self-defense at home, self-defense out of the home, and have become a certified NRA instructor for pistol in the home self-defense and out of the home self-defense. I'd like to show you some of the guns that I carry, or that I enjoy to carry. The first gun that I like to carry is called a Bursa Thunder. It's a .380. It's got safety features on it that are not on all guns. You've got a slide lock, which is normal. You've got a safety on the right side, and also a decocker. The second gun is a Colt Mustang. It also is a .380. It is a bit smaller. It's got a 2.5-inch barrel. It has safety on the left side and shoots like most 1911s. It's got a short trigger pull and has very little recoil for it being a .380. The next one is a 9mm. It's a Springfield Arms EMP. It also has an ambidextrous safety on it, so whether you're right-handed or left-handed, it works for you. This is a Rock Island Tactical 245. It's got the ambidextrous safety on it. It's about a 3.5-inch barrel. A short trigger pull is a 1911 style also. Many people are concerned that they will not be able to conceal a gun properly. If you wear the proper clothing, you can conceal about anything. As you look at me, I look as though I have nothing on other than my clothing. But I am actually concealed carry 4 guns. I'm Deb Park from the Illinois State Rifle Association with your shooting tip of the month.
Pekin Firearms Frenzy 60 Gun Super Raffle, Saturday, June 25th, Avanti's Dome in Pekin. Advance tickets only at Big R stores in Pekin, Washington, Pontiac, Gibson City, and Watseka, and at ducks.org/Illinois/events. Adventure Sports Outdoors, brought to you in part by Corsall Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Central Pool Supply, everything from pools to pool tables and much more in Peoria on West Pioneer Parkway. Michael O'Brien Commercial Real Estate and Recreational Ground, Remax Unlimited Commercial. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily. Christopher Coin Gun and Pawn LLC, 333 Derby Street in Pekin. Our thanks to all of these sponsors. NRA Day is at the Illinois State Rifle Association Range Open House, Saturday, June 18th, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. in Bonfield near Kankakee. Details at isra.org.
I'd like to thank Richard Pearson from the Illinois State Rifle Association for coming over to Tremont to participate in our program. He did a fantastic job and the girls were really glad to see him. Richard's been doing this a long time. He's also a champion .45 shooter, and I've seen Richard shoot a .45 1911 semi-automatic pistol at 120 yards at a 5-gallon bucket and hit it every time. He used to go up to Camp Perry and compete for many, many years, and is very, very good. But anyway, we'll see you next month.